And welcome back to the Career Build Series 2023. This is episode number 10. And so in this episode, we're going to start putting some more systems on the tugboat. Last episode, we went and repaired a buoy. And so we got a little bit of money off of that. But we need to start getting some more systems in here. We need some basic navigation equipment. That way, that will help us out a little bit getting going here, be able to find things. We had some fog last time, and that was a little bit challenging. So let's go into the workbench. We're on the actual career save, and so this will also help us with our money a little bit. So let's look at our money here. This cost 27,000 to spawn. We only have about 31,000. I actually gave myself a little extra money just to get started. Just not much. I just went up to 31,000. But let's go ahead and start working on this. So we need a couple things in here, and so we'll work on some more gauges. One thing we need is a speedo. So I like to be able to tell what my speed is. So let's go in here, and we want a, where is it? 7 segment. And that's going to be 1 here. So that's going to be speed. Oh, there we go. Speed 10s. And that's going to be 7 segment. It's backlit on signal. It's going to display a number. Channel 1 is fine. 2 is going to be speed 1s. That's going to be a 7 segment. Backlight is backlight signal. It's going to be number. I'm trying to remember how these. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember if these. I think because it's number and not segment, you can do it as 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and look at that. Let's make it do additive paint green. I don't think I want these amber. I think I want them green. I tend to go green, so we'll go green. So there's green there. That's going to be our speed. So let's go ahead and start working on a microcontroller to make that. So I'll just grab and make a new blank one. All right. And this is going to be our speed panel. All right. And so make that like that. And so we'll start from scratch here. I have one that I could use, but I'll making a bunch of stuff from scratch here so you guys can also see it here. All right, and so we want to bring a number input. That's going to be linear speed. Linear speed. All right, and then we need to have a composite. We're just going to be reading out. So we can do a composite output. That's going to be panel. We'll make this panel all writes, no reads. All right, so that's good there. And then I want to do, I think, wind speed. So this is normally what I do. So we'll do a number input, wind speed, and then number input, wind direction. All right, wind direction. All right, good. And so let's go ahead and we can start setting this up here. So it can be a small panel, so I won't bother putting anything telling me, where the things spawn. All right, so linear speed is going to come in, and I do everything in knots. So I believe it's 1 point. We should have a conversion there I can use. So let's go ahead. We'll do a function, x, and then conversions here. So meters per second to knots here is this. So we can do x times 1.943844. That's going to convert our meters per second to knots. All right, so that's good there. And then we need to start reading them out. So we're just reading out 4. So it'd be read out or write 4 numbers. So start channel 1, it's going to be 4. All right, now we need to break these up into the 2 different digits here. And so I'm going to have to refresh myself on how to do that, but I will look it up. All right, and so wind speed, I want wind speed in knots as well. So we need to convert that. All right, and so I'm going to use for guidance another panel. So we'll go ahead and we'll save this. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and load up Brigeau. And let's find the panel here. So if I look at the panel on Vrijot, which was the starter boat from last time. Right here we have speed there. So let's see, check the channels here. So that is going to be channel 19 and 20. 19 and 20. So let's find where these connect. I had a more basic one. Let's try something else. Let me see where I put it. So like this was one of my first rescue boats that I made. You know, when I first started playing the game. It's nice, fast, hydrofoils really well. It's pretty basic. But the nice thing with this is it has this speed panel here, and I will show you how it works. But I'll grab it. This panel here. So this is the panel here. This is a speed panel. We'll copy that and we'll load the tug back in. And I can go through and I can show you how these things work. You know, a lot of it you forget after a while, and then so just by using microcontrollers, by just grab microcontrollers all the time. So what I think what I'll actually do is I'll paste this, and instead of rebuilding it, I will just kind of walk you through how it works. And so let's go. This is going to go out to speed panel, just right there. And then we're going to go check the ins. So this is going to be wind direction. So we'll go off of this one here. So wind direction, we have wind speed. That's going to go there. And then we have speed sensor in. So I need a linear. I haven't put one in yet. A linear speed sensor. Just stick it somewhere. Doesn't really matter. Just needs to be oriented properly. So I don't want to put it in there. That's going to be kind of crushing it. We'll stick it in the stern here, right there. All right, good. And so then this can go right there. And we probably need to change the channels. But let's go on the speed panel and I'll kind of walk you through how this works. So the first thing we have is wind direction here. And so the wind direction is working off of the pie chart essentially, and it's moving the pie to match it. So let me just grab this and I'll show you. So essentially that's working off thresholds. So if it's from 0 to 0.13, it lights up that segment. 0.13 to 0.25 lights up that segment, and it goes through the different segments, and it will move the pie for that. Wind speed's pretty simple here, as you can see. It multiplies it by knots, and that will read out because that's on a dial. And then we have our digital speedo. And so what we do is we take our speed sensor in, our linear speed, and we multiply that by 1.943844, which converts it to knots. Then what we do is we have a simple formula here, and if we look at it, we have floor. That sets a floor, how low the number can go. We have x over y divided by 10%. So x is going to be the speed in knots divided by y, which is dividing that by 10. All right. And so that's going to give us the first digit, essentially, of the 10. So, for example, if we're going 11 knots, we wouldn't want that first digit to try to read out 11. We only want it to read out the first number. And so that's what the floor is doing. So the floor is essentially cutting a digit off. And so what it's doing is it's taking, let's say, again, 11 knots. It's dividing 11 by 10. Well, that would be 1.1. Well, the floor makes it so that it only reads out it's only going to read out the first digit. Then we have the second one here. So again, comes in here. It's floor x divided by y. So that will be 11 divided by 1 times 10%. So 11 divided by so that's just giving us the other digit essentially. And that's going to go in here, and that's going to read that out. So it will read out this one to input 1, input 2. I think this is actually set up the way we want it there. 3, and then 4 will be direction. Okay, good. So let's finish updating the panel. So that's a little bit easier. I was contemplating if I should rewrite the whole thing, but I was going to have to look it up anyway. So it made sense just to grab the panel, save me a little bit of time. All right, so let's configure the rest of this. So we have the wind speed is going to come in here. So let's go ahead and I want a 3. Make that 3. Make sure that I hope this isn't connected already. Nope, it isn't. Okay, good. I started hooking that up for something else, and then I didn't. All right, so here we're going to have the wind speed. Wind speed, this is going to be a dial. 0 to, oh, I can't imagine, it goes up to 120 knots, but we'll do 100 knots. That's 3, and then we have wind direction. Wind direction, that's going to be a radial segment. Do I have this backwards here? What's going on here? Okay, that's right. We have a radial segment here. And so we have wind direction, radial segment, number, bits, or we want on-off. So we want that on-off. So each of those threshold gates is either turning it on or off. So if it's within that range, it turns it on. If it's not within that range, it turns it off. And so that will be channel 4. And we're just going to color it. I tend to color this like a light blue. Need this. Tend to color this light blue. And so we color them all up, and that will tell us where the wind's coming from. So let's go ahead and this should be all hooked up. Just need to cut this, lay it on the deck, and then we'll merge it. And we should be good to test it. All right, so the wind speed indicator, as you see, is going. I need to hook up the backlights here. So let's go ahead and, for now, what I'm going to do is when this is occupied, so we'll do occupied. Where is that? Right here, occupied. If the helm is occupied, we'll do backlights for now. I will change that later. All right. And then, so we need that backlight, or else it's not going to read anything to us. All right, so we'll just step on the helm here, and don't know why that's... Oh, I haven't turned on the powers yet. Click the power on. Okay, come on, get up the ladder there, guy. Need to do a little jump when I get to the top here. There we go, so I don't fall back down the hole. All right, so as you can see, the wind indicator is reading over there. Let's see if that's accurate. I can't go in third person in this, but let's go ahead and we'll head on out and we can test a little bit. All right, starters off and gens. Let's go ahead. So one thing I have is I have a dead zone in here. So when it's between 0 and 2.5 RPS set, or negative 2.5 RPS set, it doesn't, I'm not actually starting to move, and the issue with that is, like right now I'm trying to get through that range, so I've been pushing on WNS, and I'm not going yet, so it makes my thrust changes take a while. So as you can see here, we're getting our speed. All right, so we have wind direction up to 21 knots. 22 knots, okay, good. Let's go out and look at you can see the angle of the wind. Now it should be pointing straight ahead of us now because, it's going to go between there because it's going through, but I can't really change the view. But let's move it. It should be pointing pretty much where we're pointing now because, we're overcoming the wind. Now, if the wind was, can I do wind here? I can. So let's override the weather. Let's do 100% wind, and as you can see, our speed is inconsequential to the speed of the wind. So you can see it's telling me the wind's coming from this direction, which makes sense. You can see the waves, that's where it's coming from. And our speed is inconsequential compared to 100% wind. But it's also, you can see it's handling 100% wind really well. Alright, so let's start slowing down. Bump on the way in, I think. There we go. Alright, good. So that is in. Now we have the ability to read some speed. That was important. So I was going to just put in, initially I was thinking I would rewrite the system there for Rijot, but I think I'm not going to do that. Essentially, the navigation system. I'm gonna port the navigation system directly in. I think that's just gonna be easy. So let's look at the navigation system, see if I want to make any changes. So we have what's wrong? There it is. Okay, Heading hold to bearing. So you essentially press that and we'll go to a single GPS coordinate. Next one here is going to be time to waypoint. That's going to be direction to waypoint. That's going to be bearing 2 and hundreds. So this is essentially reading out my bearing. And 3 digits telling me what direction I can turn. So if I want to do it manually, and then this one is going to be nautical miles to waypoint. If we're within half a nautical mile, bearings 10s, and then that's bearing 1s. And so we want to grab this here. And I think, do I have a bearing panel? Let me look and see if I have one set up. So that would be most likely this here. Yeah, so let's import that. I have it already set up. And so I don't want to, I'm not going to put an autopilot in yet, I don't think. I'm just going to, don't think I'm going to put an autopilot in yet, but what I will do is I'll add this bearing in. I could add an autopilot in. I don't know. I think, what is this? That's transponder, most likely. Transponder. That is anchor. That's heading hold. Let me see what the whole autopilot package is. You know, I don't want this to take forever to get this up and running because I'll eventually want to move to other vehicles as well. So I don't need this to take forever. So let's go. We're going to cut out that. That's all of our bearing stuff. And then let's go ahead and cut out. This is the keypad for the heading hold. So that can be 3 digits. All right, that's that. And then I need the keypad here for the setting in our GPS coordinates. And the reason I'm cutting them is that keeps the connections. So you see all the connections are here. And so what this will allow me to do is easily move these without having to redo all the connections. And I'm just merging them all together because I'm going to make these a unit that I can easily just grab. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, so we have all those set up. We have the GPS coordinates. We have the heading hold. We have all that. I'll make up a new panel to select the autopilot and everything. So now let's look at all our connections here. And we need to grab some stuff. So this is the... Okay, that's backlights. That's fine. I need composites. So the composites are going to bearing panel. All right. So is this my bearing panel? This is my bearing panel. This gives me a bearing off GPS coordinates. So it tells me where to go. And if I can get these wrapped up, I'll release them. It's hard for me to wrap things up and have a workshop page that I am happy with. All right, and so this also goes to the heading hold from bearing. So this is the autopilot section here. And so there's going to be some extra stuff. I'm trying to trim this down so it just does its function. You know, things get too bespoke. They end up working for one particular vehicle for me a lot. And there are benefits with that because you're not having a Frankenstein all the time, but there are also drawbacks. So let's see, are we going to anything else? We are. What is this? That is bearing microcontroller reads into the main panel. That's fine. We don't need that. And then what is this? This is probably reading. That goes here. What is this? This is heading hold panel. That's fire holds bilge. Am I even reading this panel? Am I going to this panel? I might have grabbed the wrong panel here. Likely I grabbed them. They're stacked. So I could have grabbed the wrong one. I think I did grab the wrong one because I don't think there's 3 panels working this. Yeah, you can see this one's not connected to anything we need. So I'm just going to delete that for now. All right, so this needs to go down. I grabbed the wrong one. This is it right here. Nope, where is it? Okay, where are we at here? Trying to see where this is it right here. Heading hold panel right here. Heading hold. Okay. And so, you know, I'm not saving this boat, so it doesn't matter that I'm cutting things out of it. It won't be a big deal. All right, so the main thing is I want to make sure all the composites are where they need to be. And I'm actually going to pull this out and connect it so that it all works together, and that way I can save it up. So that goes out to the seat. That's fine. These go to there. That's all good. And that just goes reading information. So we're good. So we can grab all of this. Grab all of this, not all of everything. There we go. All right, we're going to cut this. We're going to do new vehicle. All right, I'm actually going to save it as a module. That way I can easily port it into other things. That's going to save me a lot of time and headache. I also like to just come in the paint, do paint swap. And anything that's any other color, I'll just color up one color so that they're basic, and then I'm going to save it. And this will be small boat nav system. And then I can work on that from that. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and we'll call the tug back in. Make sure I saved this. I hope I did. Yep, so it looks like I saved that. All right. And then we can go to selection grid. We'll load content. And there's small boat navigation system right there. Stick it right here on the deck in front. Yeah, we'll just merge that. All right, good. And so we need to find where we can put these panels. I need a considerable amount of paneling for this, though. So those are angled. Can't go up there. Can go flat on the table here. That's fine. We have some you see we have blocks here. I need three across. I need two across. Okay, good. So as long as it's only two across, we're fine there. All right, so let's grab this. We'll cut that. All right, we'll fit this right in here. We'll put it left side. I can't go right in front of this panel. I need to remember that. You see this, that's going to be a problem there with both sides. So. All right, so that can go there. I'm trying to think where I could put the other stuff. I need to have the keypads in here, and currently I'm already run out of real estate here. So I think I'm going to do this side, and the reason is it's kind of annoying because I'm going to have to put the keypad on one side anyway. So let's go like this. Let's put that, I'm trying to think so the keypad, two keypad there. I'm just trying to space things out here where they have to go. All right, let's put it here for now. I can always move things. It's not hard to move them, and being too particular is not good, so let's just wait. Let's undo you. There we go. Paint. Regular paint. All right, whoa. All right, so that's in, and then I need to do this one next. So this is the actual GPS coordinates. If I put the glass on the outside, I can really start putting more things in here. But I have very limited walk space, so I'm not going to do that. Again, I can always move this stuff around, so I don't want to be too picky. So that will go there. We'll paint this up here really quick. All right, so that's going to be my keypad for my GPS, and then I need to be able to put in this heading hold here. It's also starting to fill in my panels nicely. One thing I can do too is put them on the sides here or down here if I need to. So I have that space available to me if I need to. So I can't put it there. So one place I can put it is right here. And as I often will move the panels around as I find better spots for them. One of the things is human factors is testing them out and realizing that that is a good or a bad space for it. And then as we actually use the vehicle, that's when we're really going to figure out if that's annoying. If I can't see something very well, or I constantly have to reach for it or trying to find it, that's when I start deciding that I need to move things. All right, bearing micro out, seat. All right, so this is going to go to the helm. And the drive system is different. So I have to go in here and let's get that set up. So as I hook something up, let me try to fix it. So right here, we're getting the seat. We're reading 1, which 1 is going to be AD. That's fine because we only steer with the port as a pod generally. And so as the autopilot system comes in, that will be fine. So what that's doing is this is allowing us, so it's taking our steering control from the port as a pod and it's going through to this is rudders, but it's going to be the port as a pod. And so I need to update this a little bit. So this is only going to steer with the port. I could make it steer both. No, I don't want to do that. That's reading position. I'm just trying to think how the system's set up. So this here is the autopilot portion of it. And so what this is doing here is, let's look at it. So it goes from the bearing panel. That's the bearing. The bearing 2, which is the heading to where we want to go. The keypad. Let's see. And so this decides which direction to turn. Then it comes up here and it says, hey, this is where we want to go. This is where we are heading from the compass. This is the compass. It's turning it into degrees. It says, hey, this is the heading we're going. This is where we want to go. It's then going to go up there. It's going to add it to our manual input that we're doing into the manual input that we're actually putting into the, it says rudder, but in this case, it's the Azipod. That's going to go out to the port as a pod, and we only need the port one to steer us. All right, so that's fine. All right, and then so I think that will work. That should be fine. All right, so currently we have this Azipod being steered on the port side from here. And so that's fine. What we can do is now have this run from here. And I'll change it to say port as a pod. Port as a pod. All right. The other thing I could do is, we'll do this for now. I can always change up later. I don't want to make it take too long. All right, good. So that's fine. All right, so we need some stuff here. So we need compass. So that's a compass sensor. Compass sensor here. So we have yet to put a compass sensor in. So we'll put one in. So that can go right here. It just needs too tall. It just needs to make sure the arrow is facing forward, or else it will not read correctly. Then we need the linear speed, which we just plugged in. So that's right here, linear speed. Then we need GPS X and Y. So we have a GPS up here. GPS X, GPS Y. This needs compass. There we go. And then we need to look at other stuff here. So we'll go to composite. So the last one is bearing micro out. So that is reading information out. So depends on where we really need that information. Bearing micro out's right here. So what is it reading? That is reading, let me see. That's reading the bearing out. So it's telling me what the bearing is. So if I needed the actual bearing information, that will read it out. So that's going to go to the panel, most likely. All right, if we need to read the bearing, I often do that. So for testing or for just if any other system needs to know what bearing we're supposed to be heading to, we'll do that. All right, electricity, we need to hook all this up to electricity. And this needs to be reconnected because we disabled one of the nodes when we cut that one out. Video, we don't need audio, we don't need rope, we don't need. Okay, so let's see how this functions for us, and then I'd like to fix the drive system at pretty soon here. All right, need to go down. All right, good. All right, and then I need to hook up. I need to hook up the occupied here. Is what I'm using for backlights because I don't have my backlights on now, so that's not helping me. I need all my backlights on. All right. Luckily, it's not a huge vehicle. That's like with my, my larger vehicles. It takes me quite a while to even get down to the engine room, to get all the systems turned on, to get moving, so. All right, so one of the reasons why I love tugboats in game and in real life as well is they can do a bunch of different things. So like I can use barges, which will be one of our big money-making endeavors, is using barges to actually get us being able to move some commodities. So want to move liquid commodities like oil, diesel, jet fuel. We can do that with a barge. We can also move containers with a barge. We can move bulk goods like coal and all the new minerals from the industrial frontier with barge. So it just really opens up the versatility, and so we, we can have a very simple barge that's easy for me to make. That's not a problem. So I can still steer, as you can see. I'm steering with just my port azipod. I'm gonna center that up. All right. And then, so I have the bearing showing all 0 because it's not going near anywhere. And then, so what I need to do is I'm going to put in let's do a heading hold first. So currently we're going, I need a digital compass at some point too, but let's say we want to go to 270, which is west. As you can see, it's turning us. It's a little bit rambunctious, so that's too high of a p-value. All right, let's turn to 360. 306 is fine. Just need a heading towards the north. So again, a little rambunctious. Need to slow that down a little bit. The reason it's doing that is it is instantly giving it rudder turn, where I am incrementally giving it rudder turn. So we'll go back to 270. So this will be good just because it will help me hold on that. What I'm going to do is put a 0 into the starboard azipod, so essentially when the autopilot is on in any function, it will put a 0 in that starboard azipod. All right, next thing we want to do here is, let's go ahead and find a known waypoint here. So let's go right here off the dock of the hospital island. All right, so let's put that in. So the waypoint is on the map. That's now in and selected. It's telling me it's a bearing of 189, which makes sense. It's around south. I'll click heading hold to bearing, and it's going to turn. It's going to override the heading hold, and it's going to take me there, hopefully. Is that hospital island there? Okay, that's interesting that it's not going where it's supposed to be going. Let me put a 0 in here. That is interesting. It should be going over here. Why is that not working? It should be heading over there. That's unless I put it in the wrong spot there. Yeah, it should be going there. All right, so that is interesting. Yeah, so it should be going over there. Pointing to something down here, but it's not where we're supposed to be going. So it could be a GPS issue that it's not reading the GPS correctly. So let's go ahead and we'll check that out. So I'm happy with the speed of this. It's a good speed, 22-ish knots is what we're getting here. Wow, I just jumped off the vehicle. All right, I can no clip. This is another reason why I do creative menu, is that was a mistake that could be really problematic in a career game. But with no clip, I can get back on the vessel and it doesn't ruin my gameplay. What I will be adding is what I had on Vergeo, which was a kill switch. So if I fall off, it triggers a kill switch. Checking the GPS sensor, as you can see, electricity is 0. That's our culprit. We have no electricity going to that. All right, so that's fine. Crap, why am I in this world? Okay, I'm in the world here. Let's see, map vehicles. Allow vehicle cleanup, allow teleport vehicles. Okay, so here we are here, and so by turning those on, I can recall the vehicle instantly back to the base and work on it. So let's go ahead and let's check our electrical connections here because that GPS was not powered and that was causing us to have issues here. So this is a little bit all right, so what I generally do is I connect, see these aren't connected to anything. What I generally do is I connect lights together, all my lighting systems, the lights are connected together. And then I have sensors, which the sensors actually should be, so lights should all go together. And sensors, which I consider antennas to be sensors, all go together. So I just didn't have that connected. So all my sensors need to be connected together, and then the sensors will go to the battery. So they go to the master here, so those will all turn on. So that should have been the issue there. Now, what was the other thing? Okay, so I want to start working on my light bar too. So let's go ahead and we will save this up as Tug Systems. And let's actually switch saves. So I will be back with you guys as soon as I switch saves. All right, so I switched over to the test world, and now I can use the bigger base and spawn some more expensive stuff. So here's the 2111. Remember from the, was it first, second, third, something like that episode? I can't remember which episode. I just pretty much ported this in and made some changes to it. So what I want to do here is I want to find the panel that commands this. It should have its own panel. So right here, that is the light tower panel. All right, so we're going to grab that. So here is the light tower panel. I should have cut this when I cut the antenna, but I didn't, so whatever. This is going to be a mess. This is going to be an absolute zoo to do. So let's do this. Let's grab the whole light tower, and let's do what I should have been doing is making little modules here. So that's light tower there. All right, let's paste that. And then let's grab the whole light tower here. And what I'll do is this will just inform me of how to hook all this up. Because, I set these up to have orientation for all of the correct lighting patterns. And that is a little bit complex, and it's not terrible, but it takes a little bit of planning to get that all set. So let's cut that. And so I'm going to kind of cozy this up as best I can here. And I'm just going to trim a little bit of what I don't need here. I just want the light tower. I'll even keep the pivots for now. And so what I'm going to be able to do is port this in, and then I'll easily be able to fix the lighting connections. So that's going to go, because all these lights need to be in the correct order, and so even connecting the new panel is going to be an absolute disaster. All right, that is all set, so I'm not going to do the radar anyway, so the radar can go. Check all my lighting, that's fine. All right, so lighting's the main thing. What is this? Okay, so I need my two nav lights. These are port nav, and then that should be starboard nav. That's really not a big deal. What's that? Stern, that's the stern light. Okay, so that's fine. I don't need to move those. I can just remember to connect those. And then I need the panel. So in here I have a kind of a simple panel. It's to control it. So we will cut that. And then as you can see, this is all connected there. So this does a visual representation of all the lights. And so it actually shows me what it'll look like. Try to stick that centralized like that. Again, just trying to make this a simple little module that everything's connected. So what else is this connected to? This is connecting out to, what does that go to? That goes to, what's that? That is mast tilt. Okay, so this is for the mast tilt. So I can manually make this mast tilt. So I'm going to grab that as well. We'll make our mast tilt. That's something I had to do at some point anyway, is make our mast tiltable so that if we go under really low bridge or something, we should probably fit under everything with the size of this tug, but it's always nice to have a mast tilt in case you need it. And that's, so you see all my composites are now uniforming together. All right, so let's go ahead and grab this, and then we'll just grab all of the mast. All right, that's good. We have everything, I think. So let's go ahead and cut that. Let's go new. And once I delete out this block, then it will make that the major block. All right, and then I want to do a little bit of color swap just to, I have some weird colors here, so I just want to I'm going to keep the mask black, but do we have anything under here that I need? Nope. Okay, so that's all set up. So let's go ahead and we're going to save this as ship mast. All right, and that will just save me some work. All right, good. So let's load in the tugboat again. All right, and I want to load in the ship's mast. There we go. So trying to do more modular stuff so I can a little bit more easily get moving here. All right, and so what I'm going to do here is I need to start hooking up all the lights. So I need to rehook the lights, which are kind of a pain. So this one here is going to be this one here forward. Part of the thing is I could reconnect them or I could move them all. I think I'm going to reconnect them. I'd have to move these and rotate every single one. That's going to be a nightmare. So this one is going to go to the left. That's top left. All right. And then we have top right. Yep. So, yeah. And what's this one? We have the one below that, left. There we go. Then we have the very low left, red, starboard bottom. Okay. So I'm going to just delete these as I go. So forward's done, this is done, this is done, that's done, and this is done. All right. And let's keep going here. So that's the mid light one there. Center top red, that is front right here. Okay, and then I need the rear one there. So that one is here. So these all are for different things. I did a bunch of research trying to find them all, and so much easier not having to redo this. It's going to be a little bit confusing trying to look over them and then get the positions right. And then some of the masts, you have to have them in different positions because you just physically need to move them, so that they don't interfere with stuff. All right, so that should be all the lights. So I think that's it. Yeah, I think that is... Oh, did I delete one that I need? No, that's just a block. And so we have antennas that we can use later. GPS is on there. All right, very nice. So that is pretty quick and easy. And this is also going to have mast tilt now, so we can tilt our mast. All right, good. I think I'm going to start putting these finished microcontrollers into the fuel tanks. One of the reasons you do that is it actually gives you more fuel capacity by using them instead of those half blocks. And it's an area that you can't see them, and so it gives you more fuel, and you also can't see them, so it's a win-win situation. So I tend to put this, I don't really need this, I use this once or twice, so this doesn't need to be in a prominent location. This can be somewhere like up here. On a pedestal is generally where I put it. We touch that once just to get our mast set up. We might touch it again to like put ourselves on anchor if we're sitting up. Don't do color swap there, ding dong. Really hate color swap. All right, and so there's our mast control. So this will actually give us a visual representation of what we have here. So we have essentially, if we're looking directly at this, this is like the map. This is like we're looking at the bow of the ship. So green will be our navigation on the starboard side. Red will be on the port side. Then we have our anchor light. We have some different light combinations for if we're sitting at anchor, if we're in distress, if we're stuck on rocks. All of these are on there, and that will give us a visual representation as we go through the channel of that. All right, and then I need my mast tilt. So my mast on this one. So let's see. going to start in the so this should start in the 1 position because ours starts down. And then so the starting position is going to be 1. When I tell it to tilt, I want it to go to, nope, yeah, 0. 0, and that should work for us there. So just a little bit of a number change on that. So this is going to go to the mast tilt right here. So instead of running this off of the constant number, we can now get rid of the constant number, which is nice too. So that's going to auto raise it when we get in, so we don't have to manually raise it. What is that? That's stern light, bow mast top. How do I screw up bow mast top? Oh, bow mast. We don't have a bow mast on this. Under certain lengths, you don't need a bow mast. So let me, I'll ask the Googles. When does a ship need a bow mast? All right. All right, I'm trying to find it. But and essentially over a certain length, you need a bow mast. And that helps, somebody passing by to know how long the ship is. So you would have your main mast, and then you would have one on the bow. And so now you know, okay, well, that's the bow of the ship. That's the mast, which is generally stern or rear. And that kind of gives you a general idea of how long it is. All right, and then so we need bow mast forward. So we need starboard. Was it starboard nav? Is that starboard nav? Starboard nav. All right, so the starboard nav light is this one here. Port nav light is this one here. This is our red one. And so these are correct as well. So you should only be able to see these from forward to the side. So you'll be able to see it here. A little bit, it's a little bit hidden there, but I could put them here and then put a deflector there. I might do that actually. I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to cut them here. Let's do that. Put these in a better spot. And then I'll cut this one here. Because you're only supposed to see these from the front. The front or the side. You're not supposed to see them from the stern. So that tells you if you're approaching a ship or not. You can tell. So say we're coming ahead here, and let me see if that might not be sticking out enough. But you can see, okay, if you see green and red, okay, a ship's coming towards me. If you're looking over here and you only see red, you say, okay, well, the ship is parallel to me, or perpendicular rather to me. And then if you see, I'm going to put a white stern light on there too. You can tell with a white stern light that it's showing you its stern. All right, so that sticks out one more too. I need to keep that in mind here. What do you think? I'm actually gonna change this up here. And that's because this is this is asymmetrical here. So let's go ahead and do this. This will actually make it easier for me to see it as well. All right, so did I cut this one already? Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's grab this one on this side here. All right, let's cut it. And I'm going to put it out like that. I want it there. I think I do want it one higher like that. It's symmetry. Let's cut here. Let's put in this color right there. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to put a wedge here. And so that will make it so that we can't see that light from the stern. And that's what we want. We want that hidden from the stern. All right, good. So I think that's better. That's going to look a lot better there. And then I'll paint this dark color, probably black, just because that makes it so that it pops a little bit easier. You can see the light better. And you can see the coloration of the light. You see that on the Damon stuff. They were painted the dark color like that. That just makes it so that it sticks out more. You can see it. Good contrast off of that. So that will be like that. All right, so those are those there. All right, and then I don't need a bow. Like I said, I don't need a bow mast. I'm trying to get disciplined here and not use a million ums in my videos, so. Working on that. All right, so this here is connected to the master power, so all of our lighting is connected. We need a stern. So what I'm going to do here is, let's see, I want it right there. I'm going to cut this. Cut this. Go U. That's right where it wants to be, and that will... All right, so that works, and then I can put a stern light here, so I want to grab another light. This will go here like so. That stays white for stern. And see, this is the issue here, is this, these you can't color multiple faces. It would be nice if the devs would fix that so you can color the multiple faces. And I don't want symmetry on because the ladder is going to be that black color, and then this needs to be colored like that underneath there. That's good. All right, good. And then this will turn green when it goes up. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There can be green there. That will go up green. And make sure this is white underneath, that silvery white color. That's good. Okay, so that's pretty well set up. Let me check it, make sure that's good. So we have a stern light now. I need to hook up the stern light. So where's stern? Where did my stern light go? This should be it right here. Stern light's right there. So this is our lighting tower. For all of that, where is the stern light? I am way out of the way. There we are. All right, good. So this needs to be hooked up to electricity. That will go right there. All right, so that should be electrified. Let's go ahead and start working on our, getting rid of some of these microcontrollers, or hiding them rather. All right, so one of the things I'm going to do here is let's count the panel. So this panel here is 4 by 5, 4 by 5? Okay, so we need to find a 4 by 5 slot for that. And I would like it in the fuel tanks because that makes more space for me, as I said. So that's, see, this is, was that a spawner? That's a spawner, so this can move. Whoop. Doing the flicky camera nonsense that I hate. I'll just stick it there for now. All right, and then this should allow me to put in, so actually we can't go any lower. How many is that? Can I do a 4 by 5? And here's the question. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this will fit right here. All right, so that will fit in there. All right, my fuel tank. All right, so that will fit in nicely there. All right, so that's going to increase my fuel capacity even more. And it's going to be, and it's also going to be hidden. So it's not in the way. Pretty easy to do. What is this? This is one of my, this can fit in the fuel tank. Trying to clean up micros as I go. They're kind of gross looking at them while I'm trying to play. These are 1 by 2s or whatever they are. So those can't really go there. Can go there, and then I can put it on the deck as well. So, all right, there we go. So put one in there. What are you, sir? You are, what's that? A 4 by 3. And then what are these? These are, all right, so I'm saving my 5 slots here for our stuff because, you know, I just have 5 slots on the width of the fuel tanks, so I can do that. I'll push this in the wall here, and then I'll align it from the inside here. I'll do the same thing, move this. Just sit it on the floor. I see it can go here. I'm not going to cut into that because I can't. This here is my 1x1. This is my 1x2, so I can't really cut in there anyway. All right, and this hole I'm going to fill with, I have this little guy here. I start filling these in. Plenty of spaces to fill in here. Just can't do the corners. There we go. All right, that's good. And then I'll put in, for now, we'll just put a wedge in here. So like I said, this will both increase our fuel capacity and hide some stuff. And then this one here can go somewhere in this side here. So what do we have there? 1, 2, 3 by 4 something can do. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh, that's I have that angled. Doesn't help me there. Can put this in the deck though, if need be. Try to find a spot for this. See, this side's easier because I don't have the staircase here. That's my spawner there, so let's see. We'll get there. I'm trying to keep this on the left side because this is my my port engine here. So let's move this panel, stick this in here. I know this is a little bit probably annoying, just kind of being picky, but you know, one of it is I don't want a ton of crisscrossing connection lines. I want them kind of all the same. You know, I want them to be as uncomplicated as possible so that I can find things. And so if we have all my port stuff on the port side, it's much easier to find something when I need it. So this can't be too wide, so this is going to be probably have to go vertical. All right, it needs to come down one. All right, so that will fit right there. All right, perfect. So that will fit there. All right, so that goes there, and then I need to find a home for that one I just evicted. Hopefully like a nice cozy home that fits. Let's see. These arrows can always be tough to figure out which one I'm actually grabbing. There we go. All right, perfect right there. All right. What do we have here? So I'd like to start in the fuel tanks to get as much fuel in these as possible. So right here maybe. I think right there. I need to make sure I don't delete out those breakers there. All right. And then I need to move this one. So this will just look a lot cleaner, nicer, having these kind of put away. And they should be able to use the same 4 slot down the bottom here. But this is going to add a lot of functionality to the to the ship here, the ability to put it on autopilot. It's going to cut some of the tedium down as I need to kind of travel. Not, somewhat long distances. I can kind of let it go and go do something else. And, a lot of people are quite adamant about that if you have to leave the game or do something else, it's not a game. And, well, it might not be the type of game you like, which is fine. But for a lot of us who've played a lot of these simulator games, I used to play Flight Sim a ton. That's what you do. And it's enjoyable for some of us. And I perfectly understand it's not enjoyable for everybody. But again, not everything's for everybody. And if you don't like it, the great thing about this game is you don't have to do it. You can build a super duper ultra fast craft that's massively fast, and you don't have to you don't have to go do something else or watch a video. All right, so let's go ahead and I want to add some ribs in here. I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. The problem is once you get to this area here, you can't do it anymore. So let's start trying to cut in some ribs. So what am I doing? I'm doing them the solid black up there, but I'm going to make them wall color, I think. I think that's generally they're the same color as the wall, often. And symmetry is my pal. So let's get rid of that and let's do symmetry and start again. Just a little bit of decoration in here. Sometimes I don't do this just because, you run out of space and you just can't do it. But luckily, it seems like I'm doing pretty well in space. And I can do that. And having a symmetrical build just makes it easier to get after it too. So there's a kind of a rib there. That looks pretty good there. Might do a wedge. Yeah, it looks pretty good there, I think. And I'm thinking right here. Can't do it with that pipe there, though. That's an issue. Still put up a vertical there. I'm not going to be able to do it anywhere else, so I kind of want it in there, and I'm not sticking my head in there all that much, so. A little bit of detailing in there. Not a ton. Was this? Say I probably made this even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6. If I put it there, I could put another rib in the middle, so let's do that. So let's do it right here. Now, I can actually kind of keep that in there. All right, what are we talking here? So that's 7. Yep, so that's 7. And I might make these another color. I haven't decided yet. The other thought, too, is to go across here. Let's go like that, and then put in 1 by 2 here. Click on the right one. That will help. Do that. Yeah, I'm kind of digging that. Color I might not like. I might want to make it a contrast color, but I don't know. Do not know yet. And the other thought I had is do 1 by 4s like here. Have it not go all the way across, and I could do like a 1 by 4 here. It just kind of looks incomplete. If I color it across, it doesn't look too bad, but I think I dig that or over the over that. I don't know. Yeah, this just looks blocky. I don't know. Let's try this. If I don't like it, I can always change it. That's the thing. I'm trying to get less picky about doing these things the first time. Oh, that door is. It's not. Now the door can't open. God damn. All right. So I might have to go to the 1x4s just for that. How much space does that give me in the 1x4s department? Let's stick some 1x4s, see if I can't get the door open now. Let's test this, see if I can get the door open. That's going to be important for me, and then we'll finish up here in a second. But I think we made some good progress on this. Get some necessary systems in, or some... Okay, so that allows me to open the door, so I think that's the winner there, is kind of this cross-bracing here. Kind of makes me feel like I'm sitting in the middle of a, you know, cramped space. I like that. So let's kind of copy that up. So, all right, let's copy that. Copy. And we'll move that here. Paste. Paste. Have to delete that out. And then we'll just merge these up. I think we'll finish up there. I'll end up trying to see if I can do some more up ahead in the living quarters. Yeah, I don't know about that coloring there. I don't know. I'll figure this out. I might make it a darker color or something, but let's just step foot in the space. And then I can't do any ribbon in here because of the way these walls are. I never get a gap, which isn't a big deal. I can try to do something, but it's not a big deal if I can't. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna spawn it. I'll go in that space, see how it feels, and then we can always change it later. I want to test out my light mask before we go, so let's go. We have to go down there anyway to power up. Door is still functional. I like it in here. That feels good. I like it. It gives it kind of makes me feel like I'm in the middle of a ship. Gives some interest. All right, let's go upstairs and check on the light mast. All right, so what we would do here is, did I connect the power? I doubt I did. Crap, crap, and crap. Hook the power up. Yeah, I didn't hook the power up. And then I need backlight is going to be on Occupado here, which eventually I'm going to change that so that you, when you flip a button to get the backlights to come on. All the electricity should be hooked up to the lights. Kind of checked that already. That will turn us on. We just need to select one battery at least and the master to kind of power it up. All right, so we're in our seat here. We can go through the different. So that is at anchor. So that will be the topmost white light that's omnidirectional. So you can see it from every direction. So if we're sitting on anchor out somewhere, that would be the light that would be on. If we go to that, that is regular running. So that is the top white. That's the, so this is top white, that's stern. So this is our rear mast here. Top what? This is the sides of, this is all our main mast. This would be our bow mast. So that is top white, stern, red on the port, and green on the starboard. As you can see, that's lit up correctly. So a bunch of these I'm going to forget what they do. That is something, and I think that's distress. Two reds. I'd have to look them up. This is like distress, but still running. So you're still moving, but you're in distress. I believe. That is like, I don't know, in distress on anchor or something. This one's Christmas tree. It's got everything on. And then, so one thing I do need is, seeing there's a tugboat, I do need to add a set of lights for towing. There's a towing set where you, I should have a yellow light on one of these that will show me if I'm towing. But that's that, and then I can tilt the mast. So I probably won't have it tilt all the way down. I'll probably have it tilt like, I don't know, 45-degree angle, maybe. Something just to cut the length down, but not have it go completely 45. So that works. So I think we made some good progress on this. A bunch of stuff that gets this working better. Next episode, I think we're going to need to do interior lights, because if we go out there on a mission and it is nighttime, we're going to struggle to be able to do the mission. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.